Hi everyone, good day. Today I want to invite all of you come to my channel. I want to bring all of us to study about the strategic management. For that I want to introduce myself. My name is Miranda Benevides Ximenes. As a student of Master Business and Administration in Dili Institute of Technology. So we have to learn about 7 things very important here. One, we're talking about introduction to strategic management. The second, we will talk about strategic formulation. Inside the strategic formulation is SWOT analysis, PESTEL, Porter 5 forces, RBV, and VIRO. And the next, we also talking about strategic option. In this strategic option have 3 things very important, is corporate level, business level, and functional levels. And then we will talking about the strategic management, strategic evaluation, and conclusion. Introduction. As we know that John Morris 2020 said, strategic management is fundamental about making informed choice that guide an organization towards its long-term objective. And the next is Edward Sihab 2025 said, strategic planning is helping turning organization vision into the reality. So John Morris requests for us to do our strategic management based fundamentals, making informed choice that guide an organization towards the long-term objective. This also including Ernest Kroll 2017 said the way to help organization be more productive by helping guide allocation to achieve the goals. This also included Fred R. David 2021 also said the process of developing strategic to achieve an organization mission in long-term objective. So we are talking about the vision. Firstly, we want to understand about the vision. The vision is a statement that describes what organization aspires to become in the future. It serves long-term inspirational. The key question is, where do we want to go? So when we set up the vision, we want to see something is in the long term, to behind global leaders, sustainable technology. For example, we want to see that. When we're talking about a mission, the mission is define the organization's current purpose, why it exists, what it does, for whom, and how to operate this. The key question for us is, who are and what do we do? So this mission is example, who provide innovation, technology, solution, and that improve people's lives, commitment to quality and the environment. And then we also talking about the goals. The goals are broad general statement of what an organization wants to achieve. They are less specification than objective. The key question is, what do you want to accomplish in general terms? Example, expand our operation to Latin America. Then we see the values. Values are the core principle and belief that guide an organization is behavior and culture. The key question is, what do you believe in and how do we act? So example, integrity, innovation, social responsibility, and teamwork. This value is very important in one business. If we want to create the business, we have to valorize everything that's in the group and in the team. The next is, David Fred 1989 said, strategic management means making caring out important decisions across different parts of a company to help it reach its long-term goals. So David said, when we want to do some vision or mission, strategic and objective, we have to carry important decisions to across different parts in the company. So past this process, we also have to understand for the strategic management concept and models. If you want to see here, we see the things is very important here. We're talking about the ideas. The idea is like light bulbs. So the light is the idea. First thing we have to think about the light. This represents the initial concept, innovation, the starting point from any business or project. So when you want to do some project or you want to do some business, you have the idea first. The idea is the light bulb that you have to think about that. The second, if you have idea already, you have to prepare the planning. So the planning is like symbol of clipboard with a strategy icon. This stage involves defining the scope, setting goals, and outline the action need to bring the idea. And then you see also the strategy. The strategic is like symbol of chess piece or knight. Strategy is about determining how to achieve the goals, laid out the plan. It includes resource allocation, positioning in the market, competitive analysis, and long-term vision. So the strategic is very important for the leaders who lead the company to see everything that's following to achieve the goals. The next is we are talking also about the marketing. Marketing symbols like megaphone. This stage is about communicating the value of the idea or product to target audience. It involves branding, advertising, promotion, and reaching potential customer. So you want to reach good customer, you want to reach more customer, you have to do good marketing. And then the next one, we also talking about the finance. Finance is about symbol of money and plant growing from a pot. Finance is critical to support the execution of the idea. Even if you have good idea, if you don't have money, it's empty. So when you have good idea, you also should have money. And the next one, we're talking about the realization. You have idea, you have the planning, you have the strategic, you have marketing, you all have the finance, but you also need to implement it. That's in the realization. Realization symbols like rocket. The project or product is launched or executed in this stage. This is the point where all previous planning and preparation come into life. So you want to implement it, those ideas, you have to do good planning. So in the realization process, this will be happen. The next we're talking about success. Everyone is missing about the success. So symbol is like target with arrow and grab success. It's measured by achieving business goals such as revenue growth, customer acquisition, market share, or any key performance indicator. It's referred to the final outcomes and the entire process. So every people, every company, every business, they are all needs the success. So the success is the last is people, all people needs to achieve the goals. Then the people Fred R. David 2021 said the process of developing strategic to achieve an organization mission and long-term objective. It involves analyzing the internal and external environment and making deliberate decisions about what direction the organization should take, what goals to pursue, and how to compete successfully. And Barney GB 1991 also said, film resource and sustainable competitive advantage. So in here, the resource-based view is strategic management theory of the emphasis film internal resource and capability. The main source is competitive advantage. According to RBFI, to achieve long-term success is film mass process resources that are valuable, rare, immutable, and non-sustainable. This unique resource helps the film outpoint competitors by focusing on what does the best internal. So when we're talking about this RBV, we link with the VRIO. VRIO is valuable, V is valuable, I is inimitable, R is rare, and O is organized. In this part also we link with this two factors very important. One is internal factors. When we're talking about internal factor, this we're talking about the strength and weakness. And we're talking also about the external factors. This we're talking about the opportunity and threats. So in the internal factors, have 2 points is really important, is people call tangible and intangible. Tangible is like asset. If you have cars, you have land, you have house, you have money. This is we call tangible. People can touch. But intangible, that's the big value that inside the peoples. That's we cannot touch. That we call tangible. It's like knowledge, the smart of people, the education, the attitude of people. This is very important. So now we go into the study case. We also talking about the study case. We bring the smartphone. Company use also SWOT analysis to understand itself and the market. Its organization, its strengths, its strong research and development, which helps create innovation product. It also sees the weakness in low brand recognition, meaning not many people know about the company. Meanwhile, the company spot an opportunity in the rising demand for eco-friendly phones. To take advantage of this, it plans a different strategy by designing sustainable, high-tech smartphones that appeal to environmental conscious customers. So they have to decide, use SWOT analysis quickly to help them to do more decision. The next we're talking about Ernest Krull 2017. Strategic planning is the way to help an organization to be more productive. So Ernest also said, if you want the organization more productive, you have to understand more planning much well. Now we link this planning to Kila Peterdi 2023, talking about pestle analysis. In this pestle analysis environmental scanning tools, we're talking about pestles. This pestle is very important for the company or for the business. So if we're talking about the policy and regulations, if you want to create some business or company or the project or in the organization, you have to understand the policy and regulation in this country. Secondly, we're talking about the economic process. When you want to build your business or your economic or your business in economic part, you have to understand also the economic influence from the government. The next is social. If you want to do the business in this one nation or in this nation, you also have to understand the social, the culture, and the value everything in this nation, so you can understand the environment. See in the legally, in the normal, and the values and the culture, everything to help your business much running well. And the next, you also talking about the technological, environmental, and legal. This process is very important to help the organization or business much running well. And the next, we also talking about the 5-porter strategic optional. In this before that, we also talking about Michael Porter 579 said 5-porter forces analysis, which we also need these tools to help the organization more better. It's like we're talking about treat a new entrance. You have to see our neighbors sometimes they come they open the new company. This is also a new company competitors entrance in this industry can reduce profitability by increasing capacity. And the second also we're talking about the bargaining power of the supplier. This also power supplier can exert influence over the price, quality, and delivery terms. And then the third one, we also talking about the bargaining power of buyers. Buyer with strong bargaining power can pressure company to lower prices. The fourth one, treat of substitute product or service. The presence of substitute product or service can keep an industry in profit potential by providing customer with alternative. The easier and cheaper it to be switched off the substitute. The last one is industry rivalry. These competitors rivalry intense competition among exciting firms, drivers down price and profitability. So when you do the business, you also have to understand more about this process of 5 porters. The next ones we're talking about strategic optional. The strategic optional, Dima Jamali 2007 said, strategic optional development and analysis allow individual or groups to map complex problem and examine the consequence of various options in relation to multiple goals. So this is, Jamali said, it's very important to understand 3 categories main is very important here. That's we're talking about the corporate level. So when we're talking about the corporate level, this is the highest level of a strategic in organization if focusing on the overall direction and scope of the entire company. Decisions here include which industry or market to enter or exit. And then we also talking about business level. This is level strategic focusing on how to compete success in the particular market. It deals with the strategic for individual business unit or product lines. And the next one is about the functional levels. The functional levels, this is the lowest level of strategic, focusing on a specific department or focusing with business units such as marketing, operation, finance, human resource, functional strategic. So these 3 things is very important for leaders. One, the leads about the business, they have to understand more about the corporative strategic, business strategic, and functional levels. Now we move to learn about the strategic implementation. So the strategic implementation is the process of putting a strategic plan into action to achieve desired goals and objectives of an organization. So when you want to do the implementation of some project or some business, you have to understand the process very well to put in all the action into the goals, and you can achieve the vision and the mission. The next one is we're talking also about the strategic evaluation. David FR 2017 said strategic evaluation is the process of assessing how well an organization strategic is performing. It involves measuring results, identifying gaps or deviation from goals, and making necessary the goals into the ensure strategy remain relevant, effective, and efficient in the changing environment. So strategic evaluation, David said, is very important to do because this is the process to see how well your project is being. So linked with this, we can measure our evaluation use the Kaplan and Norton 1992 say the balance score measure the drive performance. This is very important to achieve our goals. We have to have good financial. So in this process financial, we focus on the financial performance of the business. For example, we see in KPI, revenue, operation expenses, and net profit. In the next one, we also see the process of the customers. We are focused on customer satisfaction. So in the KPI is we see in the level of returns, customer lifetime value, and customer satisfaction. The satisfaction is very important from the customer, so the organization or the business are more efficient. And the third, we also see the internal. Internals is we are focused on efficiency of the business. For example, machine downtime, inventory levels, or unit cost. This is very important for the internal to measure. And the next one is learning and growth. Focus on internal knowledge and innovation. The KPI, we also see the employee retention, level of new product ideas, employee satisfaction. So, all my friends, I just want to say, now we're going to see the conclusion. So the conclusion is strategic management is a vital process that helps organizations to set goals, make informed decisions, and allocate resources effectively to achieve long-term success. It innovates formulation strategic using tools like SWOT and PESTEL, evaluating progress with frameworks such as the balance score. This approach ensures that organizations stay focused, adapt to change, and maintain competitive edge in their industry. Strong leadership, effective communication, and ongoing monitoring are the key to successful strategic management and achieving sustainable growth. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate for everyone. Thank you for everything, and I invite all of you to like and subscribe this channel. Appreciate it.